Let's welcome to the show ranking member of House Natural Resources, along with Transportation Committees, Congressman Bruce Westerman. Congressman, it's great to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us. Have you seen what's going on with the messaging on the president's trip to Saudi Arabia? Because it seems like there's chaos even on this. I mean, Biden's Energy Secretary Granholm says the president will meet with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia next month. The president says he's not explicitly meeting with him. It's part of a broader international meeting. So how can they not even get this one straight as they're not talking to U.S. oil?
Well, good to be with you, Liz. And I think it's metaphorical of their whole energy plan. The left doesn't know what the right hand's doing. They seem to have an itinerary, but they have no plan to get there, and they don't know what they're going to do when they get there. So I'm not surprised. It's what we've come to expect with this administration. And I think it just illustrates how haphazard they go along the way, and how little of a real plan that they have. You know, they've got an agenda. They say they want zero carbon and neutrality and all of this stuff, but they have no real reasonable or rational plan on how to get there. And I think what the American public needs is a plan to show how we can produce reliable, affordable, and the cleanest energy on the planet, and do it in a way that doesn't drive prices through the roof and doesn't affect people's everyday lives and continue to pile on in inflation.
Let's watch the president's climate SARS. By the way, let me back up. What we're gonna talk about this instead. We're gonna watch Biden economic advisor Jared Bernstein. He is claiming the president is the best president in history on basically rocketing gas prices. You're going to see the Treasury Secretary admit to a drop in oil production and refinery capacity. And then you're going to see Representative Steve Scalise and HBO's Bill Maher weighing in. Watch this.
The president is doing more than any president I've ever worked for.
And what's happened is that production has gone down. Refinery capacity has declined in the United States, and oil production has declined.
The Natural Resources Committee had a hearing on big cats. That's right. Amidst this gas crisis that's crushing American families, taking money out of their pockets every single week.
In 2020, Biden said no more drilling on federal lands, no more.
No Keystone Pipeline.
When people get off fossil fuels before they have a replacement, they wind up going back to even worse fossil fuels. We said, Saudi Arabia, go yourself, you killed a journalist, and now Biden is going over there hat in hand begging them for oil.
You know, and Biden has been undercutting U.S. energy, Congressman. At least 7 executive orders, multiple initiatives undercutting, cracking down on U.S. energy. So your committee has been, the Democrats are talking about cats?
Yeah, that seemed to be the most important subject they could come up with, is how we regulate big cats, you know, stemming back from the Netflix show that people were watching during the pandemic. So we want to talk about how do we produce more energy? How do we lower costs? How do we create more American jobs? How do we use energy as a national security weapon? And how do we help our friends across the world? All of those important issues that should be coming before a committee. And as the whip mentioned, the topic, the headliner bill was big cats. You can't make it up. I hate to wish my life away, but I can't wait to see the American voters speak in November. And hopefully we can get some common sense back in place.
We've got House Democrats on your own committee cracking down on disinformation and anything negative about green energy, like the climate czars Gina McCarthy and John Kerry are doing. Are they going to crack down on the president for saying this? Watch this.
I grew up in a family, not a joke, where if the price of a gallon of gasoline went up, it was a conversation at our kitchen table. It mattered. It mattered with my mom and dad. It made a difference. We felt it.
Okay, and no, he didn't. He didn't feel it, because gas was flat when he was growing up. It didn't go. It was going nowhere. It was not going up, and there was no food shortages. There was no pricey gasoline when Biden was growing up in the 40s. The price of gasoline had plateaued. So, you know, how come the president and his team is allowed to get away with whoppers like this all the time, and the American people are supposed to believe everything they say?
It's almost like they're coming from some fantasy world and they make it up, and they just want to say what they think the American people want to hear. But I think people are smarter than that. They see through it. They feel the price at the pump. They feel the price at the grocery store. And it's affecting American families every day, and they're not going to have the wool pulled over their eyes.
Congressman Westerman, it's great to have you on. Come back soon. It's good to see you.